Hello, everybody. I am just doing this video, this Google Hangout, because, like I said, my webcam is being weird. And the only way it will really work is if I do Google Hangouts. And it's kind of cold in here. There go my hoodie. So, you know. But I just wanted to kind of respond to a couple of things that I had recently seen on YouTube and recently seen on the internet and stuff. So hang on, let me minimize this and go to that and do that. Okay. And now I'm back. Hi. Okay. So, all right. First of all, Katie. Hi, Katie. Hello. Katie did a video on, I think it was an FAQ video. It might have been last week. I don't know exactly when. But it was the recent one. And one of the questions she answered, kind of, sort of, was, can you get disability if you have a mental illness? And she answered, yes, you can, which is correct. And this was from a U.S. Fan, follower, person who watches her person. So, and she was right about that, but she didn't know very much about it. And so she asked people who were on disability to talk about it and to kind of give her some more insight about it. So, okay, I'm not going to talk numbers here. I'm just going to give general information. Okay, I have cerebral palsy, lymphedema, GERD, and migraine headaches. And I'm also lactose intolerant, but that's not a disability. That's really like a food allergy. But those are like my cerebral palsy is why I'm in a wheelchair. That's like my main disability. And then the GERD is like a chronic stomach condition. The lymphedema comes from I broke the footrests on one of my wheelchairs. I fell on them, and so my legs were hanging without any support for like 2 years. And so, yeah, fluid started to pool in my legs, and that compromised my lymphatic system, which is this system in your body that flushes out all your excess fluids and things. It's almost like the kidney system, sort of, I guess. But that's kind of how I explain it to people, except that the lymphatic system runs throughout the entire body. So imagine like liquid filters sort of for your entire body, and it kind of gets all the nasty things that are in the liquid out of your body. But when that fails, liquid just kind of sits there in one spot or another, and so my legs swell a lot, and it causes a lot of pain and a lot of fatigue, because when you have a lot of this sort of leftover fluid in your body, wherever it is, your chest, your arms, or wherever, it just kind of sits there, and it makes your arms or your legs or wherever it is feel really heavy, like it's full of lead, and it makes you very tired because you've got all this extra weight that you have to kind of carry around with you. So there's that. And then the migraine headaches are, yeah, that's a whole nother ball of wax. They are headaches that are a whole different type of headache than just a really bad headache. A lot of people just think that the term migraine headaches are, and I'm sorry, I'm freezing. I don't know why my screen is freezing up on me, but a lot of people just think that migraines are just another term for, oh, you have a really bad headache. When in all honesty, it's not that at all. You have migraines cause, depending on the person actually, because it honestly varies from person to person. They can cause nausea. They can cause vertigo, where your equilibrium is off and you can't, you feel like the room is spinning and you're dizzy. They can cause vomiting, and they can put people in the hospital, and they can last. They can. The longest one I've ever had lasted for 3 days. And it's just a searing, horrible pain that you just can't. Nothing really helps it. I'm actually on 3 different medications to combat them. That's how bad they are. So that's just an overview of my, my medical disabilities. So, yeah, so that's that. But disability, as far as there's a difference between disability and SSI. Disability is for people who have a work history, like they have a history of like going to an office 9 to 5 for 10 or 20 years, or even 5 or 6 years, and they have a regular job, and at one point were able-bodied and then they got sick. So that's why people who are on disability get paid more generally than those of us who are on SSI, because they pay people who are on disability based on what they were making in their able-bodied working life, if that makes sense. And you do have to prove that you are disabled. But like Katie said, there's different mental conditions. Different mental conditions do qualify as disabilities. I have an ex-boyfriend who is bipolar, and he is on disability because his medications don't always his insurance is always switching his medications on him, and so that is kind of unpredictable for him. So he's not really sure what kind of a job he could get. So yeah, so you can get disability for bipolar disorder, for cerebral palsy, for all kinds of things. You don't necessarily have to be visibly disabled. And what I mean by visibly disabled is you don't have to necessarily, okay, people can look at me and tell that I'm disabled because, my legs are all tight and straight, and, I'm sitting in a wheelchair and I'm like 4 feet tall, so people can physically look at me and say, oh, there's something off with her. Even if I wasn't in a chair, even if I was on a walker, they could still, tell, because I don't walk like an able-bodied person. But you don't have to be visibly disabled to be on disability. There are people who have heart conditions who are on disability. There are people who have all kinds of things who are on disability and or SSI. Now, when I was a child and I got SSI, my parents actually got it for me, obviously, because I wasn't an adult. Well, I wasn't 18, so I couldn't, make adult decisions. I did have to go in, every year to sort of prove that I wasn't getting better, because CP is kind of weird in that you can't just look at the condition with CP, because every case is different, just like with people. It's not like, it's not like if somebody had, a cold and you could say, okay, they have a fever, they have the sniffles, their nose is runny, it's not like you can say, okay, they have symptom A, B, C, D, therefore they have cerebral palsy. There's a myriad of different symptoms for CP. In fact, there are like 4 different types, and I won't get into all that. But because of that, and because it's so complex, I had to go in like every year and be examined and sort of prove that I was still disabled, which always made me feel sort of freakish and weird, and sort of like I was having to prove that I was still broken. But that kind of a thing is just a formality, and you will have to sort of fill out paperwork periodically, but it's really nothing to do with you, it's more to do with the government making sure that, no one is scamming them, because that does happen. All you have to do as far as applications go is go to your local Social Security office, or go to socialsecurity.gov, and there are under the FAQs, I'm sorry, sometimes my medication makes me forget words that I'm going to say, which is really frustrating for a writer. But there are links about disability, and it will explain everything that you need to do for the process, and it's a federal process. So if you are in the US, I'm sorry for people who are outside of the US who watch Katie or have questions about this. You're gonna have to talk to, people in your country and sort of figure this out. I don't have information about how disability works in those other countries. All I know is about the US, because that's where I'm from and that's where I live. So yeah, go on socialsecurity.gov, or just Google disability application, and information should come up. You should not have to pay anyone for an application. The only thing that you might look into as far as paying anyone would be if they continually deny you and you want to get a lawyer and like literally take the government to court, which is an option. But before you do that, I would recommend I would definitely recommend just writing letters. And all you would have to do as far as proving it would be to get like a letter from your doctor, or like proof of inability to work from like your last employer if they let you go because say you can't stand for too long or whatever. Or like if you're applying for because of mental illness, a letter from your therapist or letter from your psychiatrist, that would be, I would think that would be sufficient. What else? Oh yeah, and if they deny you, and trust me, the government likes to deny disabled people for a lot of stuff. Don't get discouraged. Keep fighting them. Keep reapplying. You have, I think it is 60 days to appeal any. I think it's depending on what application or what paperwork you're filing. I think it's 60 to 90 days to appeal anything, any decision that they make. So even changes to your income, like even anytime I get a letter from SSI about we're changing your income's going, up or down. It says if you don't agree with this decision, you can file an appeal, and you have like 60 days to do so. So pay very close attention to those letters if and when you get them, and save all of them. Don't throw out anything. You need all that government paperwork. Sorry. And you should also probably at the same time that you're applying for disability, apply for Medicaid and or Medicare if you need disability, because that would probably be helpful to some of you if you can't work, because Medicaid is medical insurance. Medicaid is medical insurance for the poor and medical insurance for the disabled, and Medicare is medical insurance for the elderly and disabled. So depending on your age, you may qualify for one or both. So yeah, so that's that. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Rachel, and I'm going to put all the disability stuff down there. Links to Katie's stuff and links to disability websites and things about the ADA. And the ADA, by the way, is the Americans with Disabilities Act. And that's a federal American law that grants those of us with disabilities all kinds of rights as far as fair housing, and grants us fair treatment in employment and fair accommodations, reasonable accommodations, and all kinds of things. So I'll put stuff like that down there so that all you disabled people out there can read about it, and hopefully it'll help some of you. I also wanted to give a shout out to Rachel Whitehurst. Hi, Rachel. 87 days before. I know that's not your YouTube name anymore, but it's your Twitter and your Tumblr name. So hi, hello. I watched your mental health update video, and I am so happy that you are doing so much better and that you are so open to talking about it. Like, it makes me so happy that you're talking about it, and you seem just so much happier, in a much better, much healthier place, and it makes me so elated to see that, because before, when you were all sad, I just wanted to reach through the computer screen and hug you. And now that you're in Seattle, you just seem so much more relaxed, and like all your videos just seem more like you're into the creative process now. Whereas before, it kind of seemed like you were sort of making yourself do it, back when you were in Pennsylvania. I don't know if, I'm missing the mark there. I don't know. But that's just how it seemed to me anyway. And I totally get it. I totally get the anxiety and depression thing, because I personally have PTSD. And on top of that, I have depression. And depression is also a component of my PTSD. So, I totally get that. Because PTSD at its core is an anxiety disorder. So, kudos to you for being brave and opening up and opening everybody up to your home, and just being gutsy enough to talk about it, and gutsy enough to open us up to all the scary adventure of moving cross country. That was so helpful to me personally, because in a few years I'm going to be moving to Berkeley, California from Indiana. So, and I am a disabled spoonie. So it's going to be like, as hard as it was for you, it's probably going to be like 5 times harder for me, just because I have like a hospital bed and a wheelchair, and like I also have a cat and a million medications, and lots of things to worry about that are extra, you know. So, but thank you for letting us all into that. And I wanted to know, this is totally unrelated to mental health or that video, but I wanted to know, have you checked out the Disney Princess Elf sets yet? I just got and I wish I could find it, but I don't see it anywhere right now. I just got the Snow White palette from Elf off of Amazon. It is beautiful, and I just wanted to I'm going to write an article about it, but I wanted to know, because you're a beauty guru on YouTube, I wanted to know what your opinion is of it, since you've had kind of hit and miss experience with Elf. I chose to buy and review this particular one because I'm a Disney nerd, as you can see per the Mickey Mouse hoodie and the Disney-inspired tattoos and everything else. I'd show you my Ariel, but she's up here, and I don't feel like fishing my arm out of my sweatshirt. So, yeah. So, hi Rachel, hi Katie, hi Disabled Spoonies of YouTube. I love everybody. And, oh yes, I will also leave the link to my school, Grand Canyon University, down below, because they are fabulous people. And I am not just saying that because I go there. I'm saying it because I literally mean it. I love them to pieces. I applied to 4 different online programs for my bachelor's in psychology degree, and GCU stayed in contact with me like every few days, they were calling me and checking up with me and making sure that I had all my paperwork in and that everything was like okay and that I still wanted to do it, and like I didn't feel like it was a sales pitch at all. I honestly felt like they really cared about me as a student and me as a person. So that's why I initially, like, that's why I ultimately went with them. That was kind of my deciding factor in going with GCU versus the other schools, because the other schools didn't seem like they were really all that invested in me. It all sounded like they were like, yeah, you're just another person that we're calling. Whereas my school that I'm going to now, Grand Canyon, it really felt like they were personally involved and they really cared. So, and they have a great disability office for those of you who are disabled and want to or are able to go back to college. They have a great disability office, and they have several programs that are offered online. Their main campus is in Phoenix, Arizona. And then they have, like I said, several programs online. I'm majoring in psychology, bachelor's of science in psychology, but they also have theology programs. They just added a specialty in autism degree. They have several degree programs. So I'm going to leave that link down there for those of you who are interested in going back to school online and, you know, want a decent school with a personal, student-focused sort of vision that also happens to have a Christian emphasis. I'm going to leave that down there for you. And they offer scholarships as well. So, yeah. And I probably should, since I'm leaving GCU down there, leave scholarship information down there too. So, yeah, I'm going to do that. All right. Sorry it took so long, but yeah, I'm going to talk to you guys later. I'm sorry about the inconsistency in my video posting, and I'm freezing again. There I go. Sorry about the inconsistency in my video posting. I've been very, very sick. But pardon me. I've been very, very sick. And so, yeah. I'm going to try to get it to a more consistent basis instead of just this random, like, oh, I might have a video today. I might not. I don't know. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. I'm planning new singing videos, so yeah. Those should be coming out maybe probably after Thanksgiving. Probably like I'll shoot for next Saturday. How's that sound? Alrighty? Okay. Bye now, for real. I mean it.